You're watching that Masters of the Universe?
I watched it, yeah.
Nice.
Is it a series?
Yeah, it's their first season.
Is it a half an hour show?
Yep.
And did you watch the entire first season?
Yeah, there's only like 6 episodes.
Oh, but you can't make time for Breaking Bad. Got it. Got it.
At this point, Keith, let's just both never watch it.
That's what I'm coming up on.
Yeah,
really.
Just never.
Your own
That's
loss.
a great decision. That's like being like 21 and being like, I haven't gotten laid. I guess I'll just never do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a problem. So,
dude, how did we get here?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How did we get to that? We all watched Charlie's Angels this week.
I just said I'd take the bullet for the team, and then Kevin said he'd take the bullet with me, and then the rest of you joined in for your. That is on you. Like, so I can't even like.
That is true. That's true. Suicide Squad at least made sense because it just came out.
Yeah.
No, that's still
Did you watch Pete Suicide Squad?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I watched it last night. I stayed up and watched. I just watched them both back to back.
Both
I would not have watched the first one.
First one, and then
No, I watched Charlie's Angels, and then
okay.
I watched Charlie's Angels with the girls and Chrissy, and then they went to bed, and I watched Suicide Squad.
That's a night.
But it took them 12 years to watch Avatar.
Priorities,
you watched
man.
Charlie's Angels
Priorities.
and Suicide Squad in a row.
God, yeah, there's so many things wrong with Charlie's Angels.
Name one. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, apparently people in that movie don't bruise.
Well, let's start the show before we get too far into this, because if we go off the rails, we'll never stop. So
yeah, save the
this is why we need a pre-recorded intro.
You're just like, God damn it, just hit a button and just like take a breath for a second.
Just so you can put it in at any time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the All Pop No Culture Podcast. I'm your host this week, Opie, and I'm joined, as always, by Kevin.
Hola.
Alex.
Greetings.
No David and Pete. So Pete's here.
No David and
yeah.
Good evening.
If you're new to the show, don't know why you're listening now, don't know why you pick up here episode, what number is this, like 60 something, 50 something?
79. Yeah.
79?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
In like 7 years, we made it through 79 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, if you are new, we are a pop culture center podcast that talks primarily about television and movies. Each week we go through what we may have been watching over the past week. It might be something that we recommend or something that we recommend you avoid. We also like to fill some time by talking about movie franchises that each of us are currently working through individually that we are assigned by the spin of a wheel. I have the Lethal Weapon series, but I will not be talking about that tonight. In fact, the only one that's going to be talking about their stuff tonight is Kevin, and he is going to be finishing off the Sean Connery series of 007. So he's going to be going through 2 of the movies.
Congratulations, brother.
And
you made it.
Yeah, you made it. And so he will be spinning tonight. He'll be spinning the wheel to find out what his next franchise will be. Will it be something worthwhile or just a big steaming?
Or will I take my own life on camera tonight?
Yeah.
You just see a samurai sword and he's just like
and also not talking about their franchises this week is Alex. He has High School Musical, and Pete has, what do you have, Pete? Yeah,
Olympics are almost wrapped. I got Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
You haven't even started, huh?
No.
He has that time.
That's a long road, man.
He did, however, go through 2 pieces of shit movies yesterday, back to back last night, just to knock them out, just for the sake of it. But
hey, one piece of shit movie. The other one.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Ease up, Tiger.
Pump the brakes.
Well, given that, it looks like on our list, a lot of us watched a lot of the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what we'll do is this week, we'll start with Alex because he has the most that are not the same as the others outside of Charlie's Angels, which for some reason we all ended up watching because Alex was going to fall on that sword for us. So why were you going to fall on that sword in the first place? What was the point of watching Charlie's Angels?
This started a while ago.
There wasn't one. I mean, it's just
you said you're going to watch it.
Almost just the intrigue of seeing how bad it was. You know, like one of those things. Like, does it have any redeeming qualities? Is the cuteness of the stars enough to get me to the end? Like, there were a lot of questions floating through the sky, and I was like, let's grab these and figure it out. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and we'll get more into that later. But before that, that's called a teaser. But yeah, seriously, it's like we're teasing Charlie's Angels. Yeah,
that came out 2 years ago or some bullshit.
Yeah, let's clarify too. It's not the TV show from the 70s, and it's not the earlier Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu masterpieces. This is the all new Elizabeth Banks directed with Kristen Stewart, Jasmine, and that other chick. So,
which is their official titles.
Yes, and so we will be talking about that later on. But beforehand, Alex, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the other selections that you watched this week?
Yeah, there's just a couple. David mentioned this actually, I think 2 shows ago.
Last week.
The movies that made us, was that last week?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, movies that made us is what I was going to start with. I watched the Jurassic Park one and the Forrest Gump one.
Okay,
they're fun, and they give you a lot of nice insight into the movies, like what a troubled production Forrest Gump was, and how they came up with some of the technology for the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park, etc. They're a good time. If you like the movies, you'll really like seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff. They get some of the actors back, like now, to talk about the movie, but not too many, if I'm being honest. The narrator is annoying as balls and needs to be quiet, like more often than not, but besides him, I can't say much bad about these. They're fun. They're a good time. And there's a bunch of other ones.
Did you learn anything new that you hadn't known?
Oh yeah, tons. Like there's a bunch of stuff that not that I like research these movies in my spare time, but I definitely learned quite a bit. So that was fun. I would recommend that series, especially if you enjoy the movies. You can kind of hop around and just pick the ones you want to see. There's Back to the Future, Die Hard, the 2 I just mentioned. There's a couple, I can't remember all of them, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
The next thing I'm going to talk about is The Green Knight. I did go and see that. I'm going to quickly just mention this ahead of time. The AMC Stubs program. I mean, I feel a responsibility to at least mention this because I am an AMC Stubs member. It's like their premium membership type of thing, like the A-list Stubs thing. I saw this movie. 2 tickets for this movie were $6.50.
Wow.
And the the pretzels and 2 drinks were 49 cents. This is the cheapest movie experience I've ever had because I'm a Stubs member and you get like insane discounts.
We don't have AMC out here. Or it's not close for me.
Yeah.
What do you pay for the membership?
It's like $20 a month. So it already overpaid for itself just for seeing that one movie because the tickets themselves are $20 a pop. And then the food is like absurd. So I was like, wow.
$20
a ticket? A pop for a movie.
$20 a ticket for regular prices. They're cheaper, obviously, like the before 3 o'clock showings or whatever it is.
Out here, like a regular ticket's $10.50, maybe $11.
Yeah, mine is
ridiculous.
I guess I'm talking about nighttime prices, which I think like out there isn't it like $15?
No, well, maybe if you're doing IMAX or something, but that seems pretty high.
No, IMAX is 21.
Okay.
Soph and I went.
But
and
IMAX
saw
has always
Black
been
Widow
like
IMAX.
15 or more.
Yeah,
but I haven't paid $20 for a movie ticket.
That's outrageous.
Well, maybe it is, but either way, this program is dope, and it saved us a ton of money. And
that's cool.
So I just wanted to shout it. I just wanted to shout it out.
Just join it?
No, we've actually had it for a little while, but they suspended the membership during COVID because we couldn't go to the theater for a long time, and they just reenacted it like recently. So I know we've had some coupons sitting there, which is how we got this so cheap. But it's worth it if you plan on going to the theaters like 2 to 3 times a month. Like it's more than.
I know Cinemark has a similar thing too. So it depends on who your nearest theater is. There's similar things.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get to The Green Knight, the cheapest movie I've ever seen. I wish David was here because I know he's seen it, and he said he really, really liked it.
He did say it is very slow though, and that it's you gotta, if you can hang with it, that's like you need to be able to hang with that for it to work. It sounds like. I
mean, I hung with it because I got to the credits, but it wasn't enjoyable to get there.
That's what I thought when I saw the trailer. Like I'm not sure.
See, that's the thing. When I heard David's positive review, I listened to his review. I'm like, this isn't positive. You're telling people that this is a bad movie. You liked it, but it's a bad movie.
It's getting insanely good reviews and scores and everything like that. It's because it's incredibly artsy fartsy.
Yeah.
Like
it looks it.
It does, and I will say that, to their credit, the cinematography is insane. It's like so good. The sound design is phenomenal. The acting, I mean, a lot of the pieces of this movie are great. The acting is great. The casting is great. The costumes, the effects, everything except the fucking plot, which is so boring and meandering, and it goes nowhere. It's almost like there's not even a resolution to the movie. It's incredibly
You're talking about Solo.
Yeah, basically. It focused
his name.
It felt like it focused way too much on like the art house shit and not enough on making this like a movie that has any sort of beginning, middle, or end. Like it has a setup in the beginning, and in the beginning I was actually kind of into it. It's a cool setup, even though some of the artsy stuff was like, this is too much. Like I don't need to see all this. But
is this A24 Studios?
It just A24, yeah. Which they do make kind of the more art house films in general, but it went nowhere. Like it didn't have any kind of resolution at the end. It had you get to kind of decide what happened. Like it didn't tell you what happened. It's like, what do you think happened? It's like, I don't care. Like at that point in the movie, I was like, I don't care what happened. I'm just gonna leave now. But it is visually stunning. I'm sure the DOP will win something. The sound design people should win something. The Green Knight himself, like the big tree guy that you see in the trailers. I don't know if you've ever watched the trailers. Everything about him, I was like, I just want a movie about him. But he's in the beginning for like 5 minutes and the end for like 5 minutes. And then everything else is just a nothing quest to kind of get to him again. And I'm just like, he is amazing. And I don't know. It's a boring fucking movie.
Glad you didn't pay much for it.
That's what I felt. I was like, yeah, $3.25 a ticket. All right, that's fine. Like it's, But yeah, that's kind of the only major thing I saw this week, besides, of course, our two films that we're going to talk about later, which is Charlie's and Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
So, but yeah, Green Knight is, if you're artsy fartsy, you'll probably like, if you wear berets, you'll probably like that movie. If you like other things, then you probably won't. So
you sip your tea like this.
Yes, with the pinky out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
that's it.
Well, besides Charlie's Angels and Suicide Squad, me, Pete, and Kevin have basically the same thing, with the exception to The Bad Batch and Masters of the Universe. So, Pete, why don't you talk about Masters of the Universe real quick, and then Kevin, you can do Bad Batch, and then we'll go into let's do Schmigadoon. But go ahead. What Masters of the Universe? I was kind of curious about this.
If you were a fan of the old cartoon, and you
when I was a kid, yes,
yeah, and you love the He-Man toys, it's it's a really faithful kind of cool update, but it's obvious that Kevin Smith is fucking all over it. They do a ton
inside of that Bob in there.
Might as well be at one point. No, it's a cool cartoon. I like what they did with this better than I like what they did with She-Ra just visually. It's a real pretty show. Does anybody think they're going to watch it, or I'll spoiler it?
I'm not going to spoil it.
He-Man's actually He-Man and Skeletor are actually barely in it at all.
Oh, okay.
They die in the first episode, and they do come in a couple of flashbacks. But when they die, it takes all the magic out of Eternia, and so He-Man sacrifices himself and all this bullshit, and then they find out, the king and queen find out that Man-at-Arms and Teela had been keeping this a secret from them. And
that their son was He-Man.
Yeah, that Prince Adam was He-Man. And so they kick Teela and Man-at-Arms out, and Teela is now a mercenary with a partner. And they wind up going on this quest to kind of restore magic to Eternia. They have to go to basically heaven and hell, more or less, to get the two halves of the power sword to bring it back together, and blah blah blah. It's if you loved He-Man and you're feeling nostalgic about it, it's a good watch. It's not like a must-see cartoon by any stretch of the imagination.
How many episodes?
He-Man.
6 episodes.
And it's a half an hour.
Yeah, there's already going to be a second season. Same thing. And like I said, you can completely tell that Kevin Smith wrote and had his hands all throughout this.
Is there a comedy?
There's funny parts, but it's actually a pretty serious cartoon. But it's Kevin Smith being serious. So it's not like Invincible.
I feel like you're saying it's stylized. Is that
yeah, it is in a lot of ways.
Stylized like who? Kevin Smith.
Like Kevin Smith.
Yeah, like Kevin Smith.
Okay.
But
like Kevin Smith.
It's good
if you like Kevin Smith.
If you like Kevin Smith and you like
serious,
then
this is perfect for you.
This is like Clerks 3. That's what we've been talking about this whole time.
It's filming.
I know it's filming.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how excited
I am,
but I saw Clerks 2.
Will I get that special feeling when I see Sheila again?
No.
Okay. All right, then I'll pass.
That's
all right
special feeling.
I was young when that came out. I was like,
I understand.
Yeah.
The one thing about it, though,
chicks were hot, man.
Yeah.
Hold on.
When the parents found out that their son was He-Man, did they go, "Wait, it wasn't Adam gay?"
Yeah, with that haircut. Fucking A, how did they not notice?
The thing about this, though, is the cast is crazy. The voice acting, Sarah Michelle Gellar does Teela, Lena Headey is Evil Lynn, Mark Hamill's Skeletor, Diedrich Bader does Trapjaw King Randor. They pull out every single toy character and all the vehicles. I will say this was kind of neat. All the vehicles look like the toy. Like the toys that they had, because there were
said Mattel on the bottom.
Might as well have, because it was that super example of what was on the TV show was not what the toy looked like when you put your He-Man figure into it.
Was Battle Cat just stuck in that pose
all the time?
It's just rigor mortis.
Barely got.
He's actually dead, and they stuffed him.
Well, Stephen Root plays Cringer and Battle Cat. They've got the Triclops. Actually, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins.
How'd they get him?
Yeah, right. Dennis Haysbert is in it. Cree Summer. Jason Mewes is in it as well.
A lot of people.
Phil Lamar, Alicia Silverstone, Tony Todd. Kevin's daughter, of course.
Harley.
All right.
Harley Quinn. Yeah, the voice acting is really good. It's cool, but if you don't get nostalgic about He-Man or anything like that, it's not anything you have to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I am sold on not watching it.
What if you're just a big Kevin Smith fan?
You'll enjoy it to a degree if you're a Kevin Smith completionist, if you watch fucking Tusk and stuff.
No, yeah, not that. All right, well then, Kevin, we'll bounce over to you real quick.
Yeah, it'll be real quick. I think because next week maybe it will be a more interesting review of the Bad Batch because next week is the finale.
Okay.
But this is the first part of a 2-part finale, and it definitely brought a lot of the storyline that's kind of been hanging through the season to at least the beginning of the close. I would say the last 2 episodes.
I
know, right?
I'm stretching my neck.
Just doing calisthenics over there.
He's all, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw him like, fuck. You just had it on mute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
he is a physical representation of my thoughts.
Right. I've said it before. I think this show would have benefited from being half as long. There's just a lot of filler in it, but the last couple of episodes have been really good. So I'm excited for the finale at this point. I would very much like to see it get a essentials treatment like Clone Wars did. So that's where I'm at. It's good. It's good right now.
Better than Loki?
I don't know about that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, if this had half as many episodes,
we feel differently about Loki than they do.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess. All right. Well, then that brings us to Schmigadoon and Ted Lasso, which is pretty much all I watched outside of Physical, but that's just wrapping up. So I was going to wait till it's all over to talk about that show again. So Schmigadoon, second to last episode, and I think I like this one the most so far.
Really?
Mainly because of the Kristen Chenoweth song.
That's true.
Because that was a pretty fucking impressive one take, scene, and I was like very aware of that, I don't just catching it from the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, this is one take so far, and then how she just takes it. I'm like, man, I mean, obviously, actors do that every night on stage. It's just, something about, just seeing that, it's like really taking the heart, the whole musical aspect of the show. But even the wife was like, "That was impressive. That's her Emmy nomination right there." So, but I'm still enjoying the show. I think it's funny. I think you can kind of see where it's, or at least they're kind of setting up where it's headed with the last episode coming. We'll see if it has as they're predicting it, or maybe who knows? It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
I was kind of the opposite. This other than that one shot thing, I enjoyed this episode less than most of the other ones. It had its its plot development points with the.
You don't like Jane Krakowski?
I love Jane Krakowski, and her number was fun too, actually. And I'm not saying it was a bad episode by any stretch. It's just out of all the episodes, I think it was my least favorite. But I do love Jane Krakowski. And her whole scene when she's just climbing around the car while it's driving, and Cecily Strong's just like, what?
Yeah.
And then
it was good.
The more I'm talking about it, the more I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I did. Because now I'm thinking about when the girl shows up to do the dream dance number or whatever, and she's like, no,
dream ballet. We're not doing dream ballet. She just
I love how disappointing the girl is.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, But yeah, I mean, it's such a good show that the episode that is possibly not my favorite is still a really good episode. It's still got a lot of good moments in it and stuff.
I see this being put up somewhere afterwards. I could totally see someone doing a production of this.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting to see.
Which would be hilarious. This would be High School, the musical, the series, right? Like,
yeah,
so they're gonna, somebody's gonna turn it into an actual stage play and do it all because it works.
Yeah, it totally does. They're doing it in 6 acts basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you, Pete?
About the same as you and Kevin. Really, he's just discovered that he actually liked it. It's good. I do feel like it is obviously like coming to a close, and it feels good that it's coming to a close. Like I don't think they should have stretched it on farther.
Everybody hears that. It's not
Oh yeah,
me.
no, that was sorry. Soph's at a friend's house doing like a little back to school movie night thing with a bunch of friends, and so Chrissy's going out to pick her up, and that was our whole alarm thing
Oh,
beeping when the door opens.
God damn it! All right, so go ahead and take it again.
Yeah,
We'll
from the
take it
top.
back. Hey, welcome to the All Pop No Culture.
Yeah, no, it's good, but it's time for it to be over. Like it felt like it's coming to an end. Like,
Well, then you're in luck.
because next
Only one
week it's
episode
done.
left.
Now, is it guaranteed to not come back for a second season?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think it. I mean, it should, given the premise. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna make the whole show or like seasons out basically in a musical style like this, and it's like, I think the luster will wear off. And
Yeah,
did
that's
you
true.
ever see Gallivant?
Yes, the first season of that show was fucking great.
Yeah, but I mean, it lost its luster come the second
Mhm.
season.
Yeah,
You know, so but yeah, the first season was hilarious. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, what if
but
they
I
did it
think-
with other musicals though, and tried to
well, they don't
shoehorn
need to. I
something
mean,
that
in this case, they're basically, in a sense,
they're doing all of them. At least all the old ones.
It's an original. Yeah, it's almost like you know, it's just like an homage of it, but they're putting a story behind it that's from the, you know, nothing.
I get that.
I guess if they were going to do it again, they could do it with modern musicals, take a shot at some of those.
Yeah, well, that,
But
like
it
this is all
it wouldn't
Lerner
have
and
the
Lowe.
same. It wouldn't
Do
have
a
the same
6
appeal, though.
episode series of Phantom of the Opera.
No,
Well,
no.
I
but,
mean,
like,
you got like Wicked and and
that
stuff
or that
like that.
style,
you
like
could parody,
yeah.
but
Well,
But
you
this
got-
wasn't a play put into
No,
television.
and you I mean, it actually would be kind of funny to see them use the exact same actors, right, and have them be different people in a different
On
town.
stage.
No, in the show. So
Oh.
if you started again and had, like, other than the two main characters, if you had two new main characters stumble into town, but it's a different town, but all the actors are the same, playing
Well, it's the
different
same
parts.
thing, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's
That would
again,
work,
it's not.
but-
It's not so much. I don't know. I just think it's
no,
these
I'm
would
saying
be
like
their
if
own
you did
little
a
thing.
different style, like these are all this like
Yeah.
1940s Lerner and Lowe. Like, what if you then said, okay, you know, we'll do something else. We'll do the same kind of thing, but we'll have it more Gilbert and Sullivan, or you know, like you said, like modern stuff.
you
like,
could do
okay,
Weber
we'll do
and
a
all that
Weber.
stuff,
You
but-
know,
but I do think, like, if I think that the smart thing to do is just end it after this season and not do a second one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Apple TV, I think, is smarter than a lot of other networks in that regard. I think they're willing to tell the story that they're willing to tell and then shut it down.
Yeah.
They did that with the Chris Evans one.
All right. Well, yeah. So we'll see you next week. See how it ends. And so far, I think it's been a, good series. It's fun. Just a,
Mhm.
a smart comedy.
Yeah,
all
I'm
right,
really
brings us-
curious to see what people that didn't spend time in musical theater think about it. Because there's a lot there for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, given the fact that one of the main characters doesn't like musicals, it kind of,
That's true. That's true. That does add the
relate and understand that. But
yeah.
all right. So that brings us to another Apple TV Plus offering of Ted Lasso. So this was episode number 3 of this current second season. Anyone else want to start?
Yeah, almost to piggyback off of what you guys said last week.
Oh, wait, real quick. Everybody, Alex is still here. He just he doesn't watch these shows.
He's got the 1,000-yard Vietnam stare going on.
Yeah. So just wait. He's just waiting for the word Charlie, and then he'll wake
Then
up.
he's gonna
and
jump
be-
in. He's gonna come to
Yeah.
life.
Just wondering.
Charlie's
what,
Angels. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm back.
Just wondering what mistakes I made in life to get here.
Yeah, that's probably a considerable number.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair man. Yeah, but I don't go through that every.
Really
week.
having a lot of time to reflect right now. So you boys, you have fun.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. At some point, he's like, "Why is he crying?"
But I'm also smiling.
So Ted Lasso Jason Sudeikis on Apple TV Plus. Second seasons. Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, it just, you guys kind of hit it on the head last week. This show's all heart. It's not, there's not a ton of laugh out loud funny, but I at least smile from ear to ear from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. It's just big shit eating grin because it's just a.
I love this show.
For our audio listeners, we all
play
just
so
made
well in audio.
really stupid smiles.
Wait, what do you
For
mean?
our audio listeners,
Mine was authentic.
I was trying to see what ear to ear felt like. Like, Jesus. Like, yeah, that's not natural. You shouldn't be like that. Something's wrong with you. When I watch this show, it just happens. Sorry, go ahead.
Continue.
Yeah.
It just it's easily one of the best shows on TV,
Well said.
hands down right now.
All 20
right.
Emmy nominations from last season agree with
Yeah.
you.
I know, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, so far the season's been great. It's I really like how they're, kind of introducing the characters, reintroducing in some cases, bringing back some other characters as kind of tying stuff, bringing in some new characters. That girl, the goddaughter,
She was fun.
yeah. So it looks like something where she might be around for a little bit. So it'd be curious to see how they would kind of write that in.
Be cool.
But then, they're still continuing with the heart. And I thought it's pretty funny when Ted brought out his alter ego.
Led Tasso.
Yeah. And so it's funny to see them, start to get a little silly, like take some, writing risks in terms of what they're doing with this character, because obviously he's a very upbeat kind of guy, but want to see some different angles on him. So
Well, he hasn't had to deal with, like, because in the first season he was dealing with his divorce, right? So there was a dramatic side to his life, and there's kind of not right now.
Yeah,
like he's, other than him being tweaked out by the therapist being there, he's pretty comfortable this season.
Yeah. So yeah,
I could watch, though. I would just watch the friggin' Roy show on TV. Like, they could spin that off and just watch him and his exploits being a fucking pundit. Would be fucking hilarious.
And then he was.
Yeah, Roy Kent's that character is probably a favorite of a lot of people of the show.
Yeah, and I like how he's like insightful too. Like he's the quiet like genius. He's walking with the girls. And he's like, "Watch this," and you want to go with me to my podiatrist appointment? She's like, "Yes." Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's cool. So, all right. Well, I say both those shows from Apple TV Plus. Recommend. And we'll be sure talking about them again soon. So that brings us to Charlie's Angels.
I'm here.
They are Alex.
Hey, Alex.
So you three, all four of us actually watched it.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know.
I already told you didn't have to do it. I was going to do it for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it. I don't know.
Can't blame anyone but yourself.
I mean, it's one of those ones that I knew was going to be bad. And it's just, I don't know what happened.
Wait, it was bad?
I thought we were all under.
I thought we were on the same page here.
We have a problem.
Yeah.
So Alex, since we haven't heard from you in about 45 minutes, why don't you start us off with your take of the Elizabeth Banks directed Charlie's Angels?
I mean, I wish I would have seen this in 2019 because it would have been my movie of the year for sure. That's obviously a joke. This is a really bad movie with almost zero redeeming qualities. Minus the fact that the three main stars were very cute.
Oh yeah,
And you know
it
that
wasn't hard to watch it as far as
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely a
You just had to ignore everything going on.
yeah, just that first scene where she's up in like the penthouse and like that speech and like the camera angle where it's like really awkwardly like really close to her face. I was like, is this what we're doing? Like the action was bad, the acting was bad, the plot was stupid.
Other than that, though,
Other than that, 10 out of 10. Yeah, for sure.
There's there's so many things that just like didn't make any sense, and I'm like, Elena, who Naomi Scott, who played Jasmine, and her character is like a tag along. It's like she's not an angel. She barely can do anything other than apparently she's really good at computers, and she created this.
But she still fist fought that dude when they were in the factory and was like kicking his ass. I'm like, he's twice your size.
Because she took Krav Maga. She took Krav Maga. She covered that. Sure. At her local gym. That's all you need.
So, who wants to? Might as well explain the movie. So
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important that
but Pete left. That's how bad this movie was.
I was so disappointed when I saw Patrick Stewart show up.
Right.
I was like, what are you doing?
So the first part of the movie was horrible. That whole first scene was awful. But then after the title credits happened and it went into his like story about his retirement and stuff, and I saw him, I actually started feeling a little bit better. I was like, oh, this is like a cool arc that they then literally did almost nothing with until the end of the movie. And then of course, spoilers.
They turned it on its ear.
He's the villain because he's a man. They couldn't make Elizabeth Banks the villain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I couldn't tell if this was like a women's empowerment movie.
It tried to be
until I couldn't tell if that's what they're trying to get across until the first 2-3 seconds of it. It's like, I get it, it's like that, and that's fine. But when it's like it's in your face, ramming down your throat, it's like, okay, I get it,
Yeah.
But then the rest of the movie is like, but see, this is why you shouldn't have these kind of movies, because this is the kind of piece of shit bullshit that is like.
Well, it's like that's the opposite. That's the opposite of what we said about Black Widow, right? Like
exactly. You didn't you didn't notice it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The believability of this movie is ridiculous. The concept. The
thing is
Kristen
that
Stewart, Jesus Christ.
Charlie's Angels has always been really campy and far-fetched, but they tried to make it too serious. Like, I feel like if they leaned more into the dumb and ridiculous, it almost would have worked better.
But they did that with the older ones.
That's what I mean.
I feel like this movie didn't know what it wanted to be at all, because it like you were saying, it like straddled the line between the both, and it just made it confusing.
Yeah,
the whole time
it was a mess.
I thought it was amazing that they went to that big party that everybody was at.
Oh, God.
Luckily, and then I found it interesting that the whole fight scene took place in an area that was completely decorated, but nobody was in. And all I could think about was like, how much money and time did it take to set that up for nobody to fucking be there? They're all in one other section of it, but this whole thing is set up. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. But most of that movie did not make any sense at all.
You're talking about the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool that Michael Strahan was a Bosley.
Yeah.
I did not think that was cool. Just so you know.
It was so oh my God. Yeah. I was like, it was just
that whole Bosley thing. Patrick Stewart, that was so disappointing. And you knew it from the goddamn beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
they were not good with their twists.
Like, I'm sitting there watching it with Soph. I'm watching it with Soph, and he retires, and I'm all, he's the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, done.
Because he's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, the girls are pretty. They're all pretty.
Yeah.
I liked how at the end of the movie, Naomi Scott was literally in a Jasmine outfit, like the red slave out with the gold collar. I was like, that's the most on the nose shit I've ever seen in my life.
The cut costs, they filmed that scene while she's still doing.
Yeah, while she's still
It's
doing
actually-
Aladdin.
It's an outtake from Aladdin.
Yeah. Patrick
So-
Stewart was actually Jafar originally.
So Charlie's Angels
Oh,
on IMDb has a 4.8.
4.8.
Jesus. Those
Yeah.
when Patrick Stewart was doing his like that little lightweight fight scene they had him do, and they just kept cutting. That the photography in that was so bad.
All the fight scenes were like that. It was like 8,000 cuts for one kick.
oh
And it was
yeah,
like, okay, like this is not fun to watch.
So when that bomb went off, and who
Oh,
was
they all
it?
got blown away or whatever.
Kristen Stewart and Ella Bainska, when they got like blown back, they're fine though. You know, no bruises. You wouldn't know anything
Nothing.
happened because
Yeah.
then that night is when they go to that party, and Naomi Scott clearly was concussed, but you know, throw her in a dress, she's good to go. It's like Jesus, so stupid. Like you try to bring in some element of believability, and then they just throw it out the window.
Oh, and Hodak, the assassin guy, the guy who played
See the one with the
who's-
tattoo on his neck?
Yeah, who always plays the weird, like awkward guy in other movies. If you've ever seen him in anything else, he's always like just the weird. He's the friend. He looked so weird as the bad guy. Like they were trying to make him like this almost thin man, you know, like from the first one.
Crispin Glover's
Crispin
character.
Glover, yeah, and it just didn't work. It was stupid. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we
I
get
definitely
it.
got
You don't
vibes
talk.
of that. I got vibes of that character for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, that's stupid. Going back to the Bosley thing, if one of you already brought it up when I took that little break, if that stupid photo montage thing they did at the beginning where they fucking
Showed all the
photoshopped him
different
into
Charlie's Angels.
everything, and he was in of it, that was just
Yeah,
stupid.
that was rough. That was rough.
Like it was like, okay, I get it. You're paying homage and you're saying, hey, this is what happened before.
Yeah.
But it was
I
just
tell you what,
it was
too, like
dumb.
I like Elizabeth Banks. I
Oh,
don't
so do
know
I.
that I would be too pumped to watch something else she directs, though.
Yeah.
No.
Like I'd be very cautious going into something else that she directs.
Yeah. She's good most of the time. She's a little hit or miss, but
Well, she's only directed a couple of things. Like this is only like the fifth thing
I
she
just
ever
meant
directed.
acting wise.
Yeah, it's true though. Even in acting, she can be a little hit or miss, but generally, I like her.
Well, she did
more
Pitch
often than I don't.
Perfect 2. She did Pitch Perfect 2.
Mhm.
Directing, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
She directed movie 43, so she must have done at least
Oh,
like,
okay.
one of those.
Has anybody other than me seen movie 43?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it bad?
I don't remember much from it. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's really
Uh,
bad. It's
Okay, well, she has looks like seven movies in production as a director. So she has a lot coming out.
maybe this just isn't her vein to work in the kind
Well, we
of
don't
action
know.
genre.
I mean,
You mean cinema?
Well, you like Pitch Perfect 2, didn't you, Kevin?
I don't remember it at all.
Oh, I thought you liked
Um,
the Pitch Perfect movies.
No, I do.
I liked them
And-
enough. They're entertaining. I don't know that that I'd call them great, but I honestly do not remember the second one.
Mm.
Like I can't tell you anything that happens in it, other than they sing and Fat Amy's funny. Like I don't remember much at all.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess, gentlemen, by all means, the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
Whoever wants takes the reins, because I for sure did not see it.
We know.
And
Just
why don't you
enough,
hammer that
like-
home a little more, you big baby?
I didn't know if I had it. If I made myself clear. I did though. What did I do? I saw, I guess it was showing like just the actors, the characters that are playing on something. I don't know where I saw it, and so I was like kind of impressed a little bit with the cast, with some of the casting.
The cast is pretty impressive.
I mean, it's pretty
What I can
big.
say, yeah. What I
Well,
can say about the movie is
not
that
for very long.
Like the production, yeah, no shit, right? The production quality was great. Like,
Yeah,
and the acting was all actually really good for what
they
it was
had.
too.
Yeah.
Even John Cena, who is
surprisingly,
who
I
is
was like,
fucking
wait, what?
horrible. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was surprisingly good. Like, I think they finally found a character that like worked for him, because
he didn't
everything
have
else he's been in.
Is that why he's showing up at fucking everything still dressed as this character?
Yeah,
probably.
He's like, this is the most relevant he's ever been.
Well, he's going to
What
get a TV show too.
What I do not understand is why he's getting his own series. Like, I'm not interested enough to watch an entire series around that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah. I would much rather see like a Idris Elba series or one of the other characters.
Yeah. It's tough because obviously this bar isn't very high. But I would say that this is definitely one of the stronger DC movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily love it, but it was certainly better than the first Suicide Squad.
And Birds of Prey.
I didn't see that one, but I assume that's
true.
No,
it's better. It's easily better than both of them. And I like the first Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey to a degree. They're not good. They're not good movies by any stretch of the imagination, but they were fun to sit there and watch. They were bright and colorful. They were actiony.
Yeah, they were turn your brain off movies.
Yeah, like they're not fucking good at all.
I didn't think the first Suicide Squad was very fun. I didn't.
Well, I
was
actually
not on board with that one.
Like, now that this came out and I've been doing a little research, I found out that David Ayer, the guy who directed the first Suicide Squad movie, didn't want to make it fun at all. All of the jokes were basically shoot in by the studio. He wanted to make it really bleak and serious. And so that's why it didn't feel fun, because it wasn't supposed to be, but the studio was like, we have fun characters. You got to be kind of fun. So they had to like jam a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah.
But I for once, I agree with the studio. Not because it made that movie better, but because that's what they fucking need at DC. Like,
the grim shit.
DC does not have a glimmer of hope in most of its movies, or not hope, but enjoyment. Like, they're all so dark and so depressing.
Besides Superman, most of their heroes are pretty dark or down on their luck.
Or fucking Green Lantern, right? They'd be good there.
Yeah.
He's generally witty. Green Arrow can and can't be. I mean, he's not as dark as the TV show made him out to be.
Right. The TV show definitely grimmed him up a lot.
Well, I don't know if you can get more grim than a choir of Irish ladies doing Gregorian chant as you're going into
the ocean.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. This movie had none of that. Like, none of those.
Yeah.
Egregious slow-mo shots or just things that went on way too long for no reason. Like, this movie was running at a full clip for the whole 2 hours and some change, which was pretty nice. It's not like great, but it was definitely fun. And there were some scenes I thought that were exceptional. The kill contest between Peacemaker and
fucking killed
so good.
When John Cena walks by with the fucking axe to the sleeping dude, just fucking killed me.
Because the backstory, not that you care, Opie, but basically Idris Elba's character and John Cena's character are essentially the same person. They do almost the exact same thing. They're both, even Viola Davis, who was exceptional in this movie, by the way. She was insanely good in this movie, which she usually is, right? So no surprise there. But she introduces Idris Elba's character, Bloodshot, right? Am I getting that right?
Bloodshot, Bloodsport.
Yeah. Because it's Deadshot and Bloodsport. Yeah, I think you're right. But she introduces his character and gives this, like, his daddy was an assassin and trained him since he was a kid, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And then they go to Peacemaker later and she says the exact same thing.
Like, word for word.
Idris Elba's like, what the fuck? Like, I thought everyone on this team was unique. And then, like, immediately they have a rivalry. So, like, one of the first things they do is there's like an enemy camp and they both start going through and just killing everyone. It's almost like
think is an enemy camp.
Well, yeah. It's almost like one take too. Like they don't really cut too much, and it just goes back and just pans back and forth between Idris Elba like murking these dudes mercilessly, and then John Cena doing something crazy. At one point, someone brings out a flamethrower. It's just like ridiculous, but it was like it works. Like this feels.
And then
like
it had that moment at the end of that scene too, where John Cena blew that guy up with a bullet. Right, the bullet goes into him. He's there. He's like, that wasn't very impressive.
He's like, you lose non-lethal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says something like, "Oh, it's what does he say? Something like, oh, it's not that cool," or something like that.
Yeah, no, because
I forget. I wish I could remember the line because it is funny.
And the guy's like standing there, like kind of like dazed a bit, and then Idris is like, "You lose non-lethal," and he's like, "Something coated bullets," and the guy like
explosive
explodes.
bullets. Yeah.
No, but there was another line right after that where he says something, and he's like. And John Cena's like, yeah, but it's cool. And then Idris Elba's walking around. He's like, yeah, it's fucking cool. You know, like,
oh yeah. To the almost to the camera.
Yeah.
As he turns back. Yeah. There's a lot of really fun moments in this. The whole kaiju starfish thing.
Well, I mean, that's a real comic book character.
Yeah, Starro is a real character.
Like legit.
That was just so ridiculous that I couldn't stop laughing. Just like the way he jiggled when he walked and shit. I was like, he's not threatening, but at the same time, technically, he's incredibly threatening. Like he could destroy the world, basically. But like he's just like flopping around and shit. And I was like, this is supposed to be ridiculous, and they're nailing it. Like, and that's for what they were going for. I mean, they did it about as well as you can.
Yeah, it was 100% what you thought it was going to be from the trailers, right? Like it was not. It didn't take itself seriously. It didn't get dark.
Although I will say they had some nice moments between a few of the characters, which is something that the original Suicide Squad was lacking. Like, by the end of the movie, which technically that movie takes place in one day, they're like, we're a family. And you're like, are you? But like with this one, it's like a few days, like they're camping together, they're getting to know each other. And like, they tell some really like personal stories about each other. And like, you feel a better connection between this cast, and this totally could be a sequel to the first one. Like they even make it where like in the beginning, like Harley and Captain Boomerang see each other, and he's like, why are you back in jail? And they start like, it's like they knew each other from before. Like this could just function straight as a sequel or as its own thing, which is kind of cool. Like,
and there was a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy cameos in there too. There's a lot of characters from Guardians in there.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone was the shark.
He was King Shark.
Shark
Tom Clementif was a dancer, or not a dancer, a singer in the nightclub.
Oh, Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker, yeah.
Michael Rooker. Yeah. Chris Pratt was the rat, Sebastian. Do you know that?
No.
Which one?
Yeah. The little rat.
Was he really? Okay,
the best. That was, and then in the credits it says Crisp Rat as his name.
Nice.
Like, it's like this Easter egg that James Gunn put in there. But
I enjoyed it all the way through. Like it wasn't, it's a fun movie. It is easily, like you said, one of the best DC movies.
Which is not a high bar.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I put Man of Steel up there pretty high. Like that's one of my favorite superhero films in general. It's not as good as that, but like, it's
not as bad as
I'll put it like
Robin.
Not as bad as nearly everything else they've put out.
I would say though, it's at least as good as Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I like this better, but I don't like Guardians 2. That's like a me thing. So
yeah, James Gunn was perfect for it though. Like
I really appreciate how they fucking held nothing back.
No,
like,
that's true.
Literally most of the team dies in the first 10 minutes of the film. I was Jesus Christ. I was like, and then I thought like, because they even tease like, oh, they're going to do flashbacks and they're going to tell stories and we're going to get connected to it. It's like, nope, they give you like a 10-minute flashback for some exposition and then we're right back to the present. You're like, oh, so all those people are dead.
Yeah.
For real. Like, it's just like, Jesus, like crazy big actors and stuff just have like one scene, they do one thing and then they get their fucking head blown off. And you're like, wow. Like,
and
they had
brutally,
balls.
like they all died brutally.
Oh, for the first when Pete Davidson gets shot in the face and his head explodes, you're just like, okay, this is where we are.
Yeah, and you're under the assumption like immediately that Weasel drowned. You're like, well, okay, Yeah, they just wipe out so many people. And the people who survived, besides Idris and Harley, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Idris isn't in that one. Oh,
Right, because they're
he's
the
on
same
the
I'm
other
just,
side
I'm
of
just
the-
saying to like who survived till the end.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
was pretty surprised. Like I didn't expect Polka Dot Man to be like one of the people who made it very far. He made it
No,
like
He was
really,
great too.
he
Actually,
made it
He
really
was-
far.
it was an interesting choice though, killing off Flag, because I thought he was going to be the because obviously they're going to make a bunch of these
Yeah,
fucking movies.
I don't think they are. This was supposed to be a standalone.
yeah, but they might
Oh,
make
Oh no, but I'm
shows
saying
and stuff.
they'll make more standalones like this, because that's how the Suicide Squad was in the comics. Like it was just you never knew from like week to week and story arc to story arc what fucking random ass.
You keep freezing and
Oh,
delaying
shit.
like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That AT&T
Listen-
internet's not doing it too well right
Yeah.
now, bud.
No, I fucking broke one of the
Or
ends of my Ethernet cable,
Hmm.
and so it's slipping out slightly.
How'd you break one of the ends of your Ethernet cable?
The little clip, so it's not
Yeah.
holding in
So it doesn't
all
like
the way
stay
into
secure.
the dongle. Yeah, like every now and then I have to just kind of.
Oh,
Jiggle your dongle.
Kinda
why don't you
wiggle it in there.
replace it? Take you 3 seconds to replace that?
Yeah, but I have to fucking bring the fucking cable into work.
I got it.
Have you tried Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
You don't even need a
that's-
cable for that.
Dude,
No, it's the
it's AT&T, dude. Don't even
Yeah,
go
yeah.
there. He's lucky that the cable's working.
Anyways, back to Suicide Squad. It was fun.
yeah.
And I actually started watching it a second time today just to kind of refresh myself. I didn't get around to finishing it, unfortunately, because we had some stuff to take care of. But I was like, yeah, I'll watch this again. Like it wasn't like,
Who did you say that to? Was that to yourself?
yeah. I was sitting there and I was
Okay.
like looking at the TV screen, just like,
The
yeah, I'll
Suicide
watch
Squad.
this again. But no, I just it was fun. It's like a solid 7 out of 10, maybe. Like
Yeah.
in my opinion, like it's not horrible, but
I would
it's-
say Opie actually watched this one.
He won't.
Skip the other two. This one's actually worth watching.
I would agree with that.
I think
I would
in
agree with
general, I would recommend it to people.
for sure. It's violent as fuck.
especially for
Oh.
DC. But
It's so violent. Like
Yeah.
I expected it to be, but I was even kind of like shocked when some things happened.
I was
like,
also
whoa.
prepared to not like King Shark because he seemed to be so
Yep.
like
The
all over
trailers
all the.
made me think he was going to be annoying.
But
For
he
sure.
wasn't. They
And I
used him
fucking
great
loved it. I
just
thought he was
enough.
great. And
He
I
was-
didn't realize it was Stallone until I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be in it, and it even took me a while. He did a pretty decent job. I mean, he kind of sounded like Stallone, but not
he
too bad.
wasn't super Stallone-ish. Like he really didn't like it. Didn't read that way until
He had a few lines where I was like, "Is that Sylvester Stallone?" And then I found out later that it was. I was like, "Okay, here you go."
Is that
Is it? Think it's-
hey, real quick, totally off topic, but I don't know what made me think of it. Alex, you watched The Big Bang Theory and
Yeah.
and then Young Sheldon, and one of the things you were talking about was the casting of Young Sheldon, how the characters that they represented before, that you thought they're really good representations.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Do you know who the mother is?
Yeah, I found out later she's the daughter of the original actress.
Of Lloyd Metcalf. So
Yeah.
Is she
who plays-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why,
Wow,
and
that's-
yeah, because after we finished season 3, we didn't want to like look up too much stuff online because
Yeah.
we didn't want any spoilers. But yeah, we found that out afterward, and they were like, "There you go, of
Yeah.
course, like that. She's perfect." And
So
that
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, we did find that out. I thought that was incredible. You just
So,
don't want us
anyway.
to talk about Suicide Squad anymore, so you're just like, "Oh, by the way, I thought of something real quick."
Yeah.
But it's fun.
no,
I do recommend it. It's it's a stupid good time.
Yeah.
I will say Margot's Harley is, I mean, she's good at it, but at this point I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's the
I'm
same
just-
thing for like the 4th time in a row, and it's
Yeah, I'm just like, she does what she needs to do, but even with
if you've never seen it, would it
it
still
might be okay, yeah, if you're not like kind of burned out on her. It
Yeah.
might be all right because she's fine. There are, like, of course, some ridiculous, like, you're technically normal. How are you alive? But like You know, but that's with every one of these movies is like that these days. You know what I mean?
Charlie's Angels, they skirted that line.
Well, at least, you know, Harley gets her ass kicked in this a lot, and she's bleeding, and she's like actually battle damaged. So at least they try to make her look like she gets fucked up. But
she should train to be an angel. They are able to withstand.
They are immortal.
A lot of punishment.
A car accident, getting thrown out of a moving vehicle, all this bullshit.
No problemo. Getting shot because you got a blouse on. It's good.
Yeah, bulletproof. That bulletproof T-shirt they're fucking wearing. You're like,
that his character totally should have known about and should have shot her right in the head because it's just, but whatever.
Lululemon's really stepping up their apparel.
Yeah.
That's why it's $150 a fucking T-shirt.
Yeah.
So
it's Kevlar.
Yeah.
Yoga's
a tough game, man.
All right, Kevin. I guess now the floor is yours for 007, and then
is it really? Jesus fucking Christ! So I watched both of these.
Just burn them. Just burn through them.
I don't remember.
We don't need the plots. They
all
suck.
Right, you watched both of these. Which
both of these? So Diamonds Are Forever, which is James Bond breaking down a diamond heist, which is great. It's really cool that spies are involved in like being police officers, basically.
Really? Usually, like from movies I've seen, like the LAPD, homicide detectives handle.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It should definitely be somebody within the department that is not necessarily in that particular field. Like
there's the cat stuck in a tree. Quick, grab a high school cafeteria lady. Like nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah. This one opens up. So this one opens up super fucking aggressive. Like Bond is like he's trying to find this dude that he obviously wants to kill. And I believe the dude is the head of Spectre. And so he's going around and like murdering, like straight up murdering people to get this guy. And then there's a scene, he walks up to this girl on the beach and she's sitting there, she's being all pretty. And he starts like flirting with her. He kisses her. He takes off her bikini and strangles her with it.
Oh, like damn.
Like murders. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, he
bangs her or he bangs her first?
No, he neither one. I think they make out and then he kills her.
No necrophilia in this.
He finally made the leap from rapist to murderer, right? Like he's
he has a license to kill.
I mean, yeah, he's always had the license to kill. That's
he fucking went.
That's totes allowed.
Yeah. He used up all his buy one get one free punch cards in this one. And then so like he kills the bad guy in this crazy like weird mud pit room, which you would think would be like in a day spa, but it's not. It's like some cloning factory or some shit. They were trying to make this other dude look like the head of Spectre, and then they forget it. And then like just a bunch of shit happens that I don't even remember. It's so bad. It's so
just bad. A bunch of shit happens.
Yeah, and then at the end,
stuff happens that I don't remember.
Yeah, and then he shows.
How do we know you actually watched it,
dude? I can't tell you if I actually watched it, and I know I actually watched it.
That's what actually happened. He watched just the beginning. He saw that scene, and then he's like, "I'm done." He's like, "A bunch of shit happens." The end,
Yeah. If I get Fast and the Furious, I'm gonna be like, they're in their cars, they're driving fast. It's all about their family. A lot of bullshit happens. And that's basically 4 through 3,000.
Right? Yeah, no, I got this exact same like Stockholm syndrome when I was getting to the end of the Roger Moores, where it's like you hit those.
Do you know what Stockholm syndrome means? You've used that a few times.
Yeah, that's where you identify with the captor and whatnot.
I do not think you know what this means.
But you get to like the last 2 films, and when you're hitting those like last 2 out of the 7.
Flash. Every damn time.
Just update it already, Jesus.
No, I refuse. It's a principle thing at this point.
It's not even in use anymore.
One day my screen will go black because it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's been warning you for months.
Yeah, and then this dumbass movie like has these 2 like, I guess they're assassins because they're out killing everybody for the Spectre dude. And they are the weirdest 2 fucking people I have ever seen. Like in a modern movie, with some good actors, they might have actually been like really creepy. But like they were
like
bad.
the McBoyles.
They might as well have been. Like one of them even looked like him. And
bump it.
and it's just like so fucking bad. Like I was just like, oh my god. And they try to kill Bond like 3 times. Like they kill everybody else, just like gleefully murder people. And then of course it's a Bond movie, so nobody ever kills Bond. They're always just like,
Well,
I'm going to kill you in a minute, you know. And I was like, dude. And again, like everybody knows the name James Bond. Like he is the worst fucking spy ever.
I know.
Like
It's so funny when they're trying to protect the list that has everybody's name on it. It's like, well, everyone knows Bond, so
right.
Imagine there's at least a few other agents out there just flashing their own name around.
Well, and there's just people like in these movies that have no business even knowing who a spy is. Like it's the girlfriend of the bad guy, and she's like, "You're James Bond," and you're like, "Fuck, dude, what are these guys like? Just talk about him everywhere they go. Like everybody knows who James
Don't you
Bond
have
is."
like your international spy trading cards?
Yes, dude.
It's like
so
that board
bad.
that Charlie's in front of, but it's just pictures of James Bond with little red
Yeah.
strings going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this one, it was so
Next
weird.
one.
Yeah, the second one also sucked.
All right, let's get to the wheel.
Wait, were they doing that thing with Sean Connery that they did with Roger Moore, where like when the fight scenes and the action scenes happen, they shoot them from really, really far away, so you can't tell the stunt double.
They didn't have to, because all of the fight scenes are so fucking slow that. And granted, this was still Bond around, or Connery around 40, so he wasn't ancient yet, right? So he was still old enough, but
I mean,
the
Keanu
fight
does
scenes
it
are
at
all
50.
so slow.
No excuses.
Yeah, they're just so slow that it's choreography and everything is terrible. And then so the next one took place, or was filmed 12 years later. And it's called Never Say Never Again, specifically because Sean Connery said he would never play James Bond again. And then he did.
Is that like an actual thing? Like the title of the movie was
Yes.
supposed to be like
Yes.
"We got you again."
Yes, because it's a remake of Thunderball. And I guess there was some big rights battle between the family and the studio. I think Ian Fleming like co-wrote this one with somebody or something like that. And so this other studio finally got the opportunity to make their version of the movie. And a lot of the stuff is very different. Or most of the movie is very different. And Bond is very different. Like he's 12 years old. He's 52 when they filmed this. And he just looks old. And then like he had, like by the end of the film, he's banging Kim Basinger, who in 1982, I think
He was
this
like
was
20.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was super young. And I was just like, dude, gross, man. He was, but by this one, at least he was less rapey, right? Like he was not just like forcing himself on women. Like it was.
Yeah, this is the 80s.
Yeah.
They
So
did it in the 80s.
now they were just throwing himself at him instead, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Still no rubber, but no rape.
Right. He just walks in and they're like, God, yes, please, let's do this, Grandpa. And but I mean, the overall plot is essentially the same. The nice thing is they got rid of the 45-minute underwater fight scene. It was just fucking terrible. Like it was in the first one was so bad. So
would you say that overall this is a better version of that movie?
Yes, that's not saying much.
Well, no, but
and
just
I
wondering.
laughed so hard because fucking Mr. Bean shows up in this one.
Yeah, I remember you
Like,
texted us like Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
is in
Rowan
James
Atkinson
Bond.
shows up, and he's not Bean, but he's doofy. Like he doesn't play a serious character. Like he's a spy that doesn't know shit. And so like Bond recognizes this, and he's trying to get Bean there to walk away like slyly. And he's like, you can try to blend in. And he's wearing a white suit, and he sees like a white pole, and he walks up to it and just like stands up against it. And he's just like, Jesus. Like that joke doesn't even fit in the show. It's like,
was he Mr. Bean yet at that time?
That's what I was trying to figure out. I didn't look it up.
He's been Mr. Bean for like decades at this point.
Yeah, I feel like he had to have
so.
been, and they were leaning into it. Because it was just such a dumb joke to throw in there that didn't
Maybe
didn't
this is
work
how
with the
he.
movie.
Maybe this is how he got Mr. Bean. They
It
saw
could
this
be.
and they were like, you know what?
But I like Rowan Atkinson more than Sean Connery as Bean
You
at this
know
point.
what?
Or
What year,
as-
what
as
year was
Bond.
this? This what you
This
said?
is
This was
82, 83?
Yeah, no, Mr. Bean was actually only 92 to 95.
Really?
Mr. Bean was only 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 15 episodes of that show.
Oh, but he's done like
But he-
movies and shit.
Yeah,
since.
wasn't he
done
Mr. Bean
two-
before that though?
No,
Like, didn't he play Mr. Bean before that?
no.
That's
No,
No,
he
it
was
was-
92.
Wow. I thought he was around for like ages.
Oh no, he has been around for fucking ages in British television. He was in Blackadder. If you ever watched that, I know that was like.
But
some
like,
PBS
did
shit.
Bean ever show up as a character on there?
Nope.
Like, I feel like he was. I don't know. Anyways,
We need to get to the bottom of this. Stop talking
right.
about James Bond. This is now a Mr. Bean podcast.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, and then he ends up with Kim
All
Basinger.
Bean,
and
no
it's
Mister.
just gross. It was a painful fucking movie. Like, it was a painful series of movies to watch.
Well, you're done now, buddy.
Yeah, but I mean, the worst part about them, to be honest, is that they are so boring.
Yeah.
Like all of them, because they're from the 60s and plot development was different back then. There's just so much shit that happens that doesn't matter. Like or is just so slow. Like, it is a hard series to watch.
Sounds like The Green Knight.
Except less cinematic.
Yeah, the movie's gorgeous.
So by all means, Opie, please
spin
bring up
that
the wheel.
wheel.
Yeah. Yo, DJ, spin that wheel.
All right, hold on.
I will not hold on. You will do it now.
He's like, I need to be free of this.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
When will the hurting stop? But yeah, it was a tragic series.
I hope you get Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Dude. You
I
know what
can't
though?
share.
I feel like the pace has to be better.
GoldenEye is
Let
a
him share.
spectacular movie.
Yeah,
The first
GoldenEye is
one
great.
so
Like,
good.
I don't have a problem with Brosnan Bond. Just fucking, like Pete said, he watched the Roger Moore Bonds. Like, they did not get better for a long time.
The Craig ones are good, and for the most part. And Pierce started strong. GoldenEye is great. I think the next one even is pretty okay, and then they just kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Because they started to go cheese again, like instead of being. But like, honestly, like the first couple were just unintentionally cheesy, right? Like the first one especially was very dramatic. It was slow, but it was like I said, it was a product of its generation, right?
Right.
I'm just so happy for you.
That he's done.
That I'm done.
Yeah, I feel the Roger Moores, because it's like the Pierce Brosnan's. There's not like 7 of those.
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Pete, I can't
didn't
share
even
the
think there was that
screen.
many.
It's not letting you share.
No, I thought you were working on that. I said it about 10 minutes ago.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you had already.
Oh, I thought he was working on that too. He looked like he was clicking
I thought
away.
it was too. You looked very intent on something. Do we need to see your hands, Peter?
Bing.
He's queuing up that prawn for after the
There we
show's
go.
over.
All right, here we go.
Hey, there's our screen
Oh, boy.
broadcast.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Here. All right, so did you want to add anything before we spin?
Every time we fucking do this, I always think there was something that I had, but I can't think what it was. So
All right,
No,
then are you
not
ready,
today.
sir?
let's do it.
Here we go.
Like, I'm watching this, I literally don't see anything that is worse than what I just watched.
Oh,
I'll take
That's
that. I will
that's not
gladly
yeah,
bad.
of course.
That's not bad. Yeah, there's some really solid ones until the very end on that one.
Yeah,
I like them all. I've seen
There's
them all. so
there's
that's
only
fine.
4, and there's
Oh,
only
and for the listeners, I got Star Trek: The Next Generation, the film series.
Yeah, that's we always forget to do that.
yes, we do. We're like, great. All right, well, we'll see you next week.
Oh, lucky you. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's definitely one of those movies. Insurrection is kind of weak, but mostly the other 3 are pretty great.
Yeah, I loved Generations. I like.
I love
my wife's
Generations.
favorite is his first contact.
That's a really good.
So,
Nemesis is
How many movies are in that?
4.
4. Okay.
And
I
you
can
have to
literally- I
watch
can-
the whole series. No shit.
I will not be stealing that one, so you can go ahead and hang on.
Bad
to
move,
that.
man. They're great.
They actually are. And like of the other movies that we have on this fucking wheel, you could definitely do worse.
That's a solid pick. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I can also do better. If I'm picking what I want to take, I can.
Yeah.
I can do better.
For
All
sure.
right. Well, is that it? Are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We actually made like a nice, concise show with specific topics and stuck to for the most part,
Yeah.
what we wanted to do.
Because it's because
You
Dave
know what
wasn't
it
here to
is?
derail us.
Yeah.
David, I know.
Dave is quite possibly a solid hour of just fucking filler.
Yeah, Mr. Loudmouth always interrupted
Hey,
and going off on
Jesus.
tangents. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to start making him familiar with the term "get to the point," because if we're getting done, just after 11, it's like, damn, it's like I don't know what I'm gonna feel like tomorrow morning when I wake up well rested.
Right?
Well, to that end, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And next week, is What If coming out soon?
Yeah.
Is
What
that-
If comes out on Wednesday?
Okay, so What If?
So-
So Marvel's What If series will be starting this week, so we'll be looking forward to that. Schmigadoon season finale should be next Friday,
Yeah.
along with the next episode of Ted Lasso. And I think Kevin Can F Himself I'm not sure if that has one more episode or if the season finale's happened already, but that's coming to an end here soon.
Cool.
And I know some more stuff is coming. So
And you guys, I think, will have a lot of franchise watches to get done too.
yeah, I think I might finish up Lethal Weapon next week.
I think David was
almost
supposed
did.
to done too.
Yeah. Well, no, he just did the first 2, so he had 2 to go. But I don't know.
He might be done by the time we record next.
Yeah, very possible. Go through the last 2. It'd almost be like cheating to talk about the third one and the fourth one in the same night, because it's like
You want the fourth one to have
like,
its
don't
own-
even speak about them at the same time.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, the fourth one. Yeah,
I
shouldn't
can't
be
wait.
spoken about, but
Can't wait.
So, all right. Well, talk to you next week.
So, oh God, listening back to the last show, I wish I was there. God, Alex, I see you haven't watched the next High School Musical yet.
Oh yeah, no, I have not. No.
Oh, yeah, the second one.
He watched it 3 times this week just to get ready for you.
Yeah,
No, I just
He's like, I have notes,
So much-
copious notes.
it's so much better than the first one.
no, it's ridiculously worse.
I can't even imagine that. The first one's so bad.
Okay, so now it's summer break, and they're
Whoa,
all working
spoiler
at a
alert.
country, and they're working at a country club or going to the country club. And the girl Ashley Tisdale, Sharpay, it gets so much more annoying.
Is that
And
Ashley
her-
Tisdale?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
just,
She
I
was
fucking couldn't stand her, so I just almost every time she came on screen, I just fucking like blanked out. Like,
but the only thing I will say about the whole series though is kudos for Disney for having like easily a gay character, even though they don't say he's a gay character.
is that
He's a
her
gay
like
character.
her
brother.
Zac Efron.
Oh, is that her brother?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, he's definitely gay. Like
Yeah,
in the first
like-
one, you can totally tell.
Kudos to
Yeah.
Disney for having a gay character.
I mean, when that came out, they
In
didn't
a-
do shit like that.
in a made for
To
TV
be fair, yeah.
kids movie,
To be fair,
like tween movie, like
Yeah, but it was a
that's-
musical. You just
Still-
assume
well,
half the dudes in it are gay.
there's at least one of them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but yeah, I kind of got that vibe, even though I was barely paying attention to the movie. I was like, oh, I think he's gay. That's cool. And then I just continued to blank out. So, man, that was rough. But like I said, I know where Zac Efron got his career. He's not
yeah,
bad.
they're it's crazy because they're not good. Like,
No, I know.
like because I've seen all of them, like all the Disney Channel musical things that they've done. I've seen them all. The only one that I still look at that's like actually pretty good were these two called Teen Beach Movie, and it was
I
like
remember
Beach
those.
movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
I've
was
never
it
even
was,
heard of that.
yeah, no, it was a
They
setup
are
of like
super
50s
big, yeah.
movies.
No.
But it was like that one, like the music worked throughout the whole thing. Like it was very themed. The acting was what it was, but it fit the thing. Like that one, those I could stand watching again. The High School Musical ones and like the zombie one, like Kevin, you brought up that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's just bad. The
I
zombie one
only,
is just
I only know the zombie one and the other one specifically from my kid's dentist. Whenever I would take my kids to the dentist, they'd have the Disney Channel on, so those would be on every now and then.
It's like I only know those because I watch them before I go to bed.
Yeah,
every night.
religiously.
Yeah,
Religiously.
every night. If I don't watch one, I don't fall asleep.
I had a TV put in my bathroom so I could watch them while I shower.
and then
Sounds
the
like
whole
Pete. Yeah, because obviously he's watched all of these.
yeah.
Not because he's made to. So I've seen every musical Disney's ever produced, and got so
he sends the girls to bed and then watches them.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
they
really
can't stay
need
up
to
that
be.
late.
Well, most things Disney produces are musicals. To be fair,
Yeah.
but most of them are pretty good, and these are not at all.
No.
Or the one I've seen is not, and I'm just making an educated guess for the other two.
The only thing you have to look forward to in the third one is that because it was
Boobs.
the last one, they
Yeah,
that
they're just like straight R rating. Just starts.
It's
There's
a hard R.
just an orgy. You're just like, what?
no, they just
If
Yeah.
you remember high school, at the end it got really racist.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fair.
You know, there's no question that his brother's gay in that third one.